Okay, one of the big issues that's going to be coming up is this area right in here, this kind of trough or channel that didn't really know what I was going to do with it. It was just kind of the awkward leftovers between this piece and this piece. I had thought about trying to smooth it out kind of along this same level with everything else, but it made it kind of weird. I mean, it would have worked to, I'd have this this wall here kind of go up this way, but I was just, there's really no other similar areas anywhere else on this blaster or really other blasters or anything. So I kind of kicked around a few ideas. I didn't really want to load it up with DevCon because that would have been really hard to work with in here. But that's why I got, among other reasons, this Apoxie Sculpt. This has been highly recommended to me by other guys. It apparently works as far as being workable like modeling clay, but apparently is a 24-hour set time, and then it cures like epoxy, and then it's sandable, machinable, drillable, tappable, stuff like that. So I think what I'm going to do, especially since it's kind of a delicate area, being able to utilize that extra time to shape and smooth and everything, I think, can we come in further? Oop, that's it. I think what I'm going to do, in order to help kind of blend things together, is I think I'll, of course, fill it up, but then basically try to take there's kind of a slight curve that used to be right here, and there's kind of that little kind of pokey appendage that used to be there. I think I'm going to play off that and try to basically kind of connect with this line right here. There we go. Basically try to connect, technically, that, and then have the angle down be similar to this one here. But we're not going to try to smooth, butter it up right next to and smooth it. I'm going to try to give it kind of a panel line kind of feel, so there'd be kind of a simulated, basically to differentiate between the grip panel and the main body panel. Just put kind of a seam there so we can be able to kind of tape it off and stuff like that. And then the top piece where it comes up here, I guess we can run it straight back. But then that kind of conflicts with this piece right here. I suppose what we could do, okay, this side doesn't have that little detail because I got cut off. We could recreate that, I guess. The thought being we could have this little hook back thing here, and then right where it hooks down to this line here, run that straight back to this piece here. So basically this section, this panel here, will basically butt up here, and it'll be kind of a merge point, more or less. This piece will drop down here and kind of be a panel that kind of differentiates between this and that, and this will be just a little hook thing, well, just cuts, and I guess we'll try to blend it in to the kind of base barrel piece here. So, never worked with this stuff before, so this is going to be an experiment. Figuring that if anything goes bad, we can kind of grind it all out and do something else if we need to, but I've heard good things so far. So, I will start working on some of that, and we'll see how this works firsthand. In other news, I just got up to replace the battery in the camera, and found out that my voltmeters came in that I was waiting on, and it's one of these fancy guys. It's got the big display and stuff like that. So now we can move on with that, which makes me very, very happy. But we're not talking about that right now. We're talking about Apoxie Sculpt, which is apparently a two-part mix. Zoom out a little bit so we can see what's going on. And I guess you just knead it together, kind of a one-to-one mix. Ooh, stuff smells kind of smelly. Okay, so we need to think about that big. Peel off another one out. Wow. Okay. Golly. Close enough. Okay, so. Gee whiz. It's not really potent, it's just kind of musty smelling. Kind of smells like an old attic or... Golly. Okay, I can handle that. So, just gonna eat it. Gonna eat it. So far, it's easier to work with than epoxy putty. I'm enjoying this so far. The stuff's apparently got a 1 to 3 hour work time, and then it takes the rest of that time to set up, another 24 hours or whatever to set up all the way, which is nice because you don't have that weird kind of rush feeling like you do with epoxy putty, where you're like, crap, I gotta jam it into things and get it all figured out before it starts curing and stuff like that. So that's nice. Okay, in hindsight, I probably should have used gloves, because I'm getting this kind of residue on my hands, which will make it a little difficult working with manipulating the blaster shell around. Container says wear disposable gloves is kind of like the first instruction. Huh. Well, whatever. Oh well. But now we've got this kind of weird stuff. So, I guess it says you can let it rest for a little bit before you start working with it. It makes it easier to work with. I don't know why or what the purpose is of that, but it gives us yeah, smelly. That gives us an opportunity to get in and I think just for the heck of it, I'm going to get in there with the big file and just kind of rough the place up a little bit. Just to give it a little more bite. I mean, it may not be necessary, but hey, we're here and we got to let that thing hang out for a minute, so might as well. Okay. We'll get the shells apart so we can get to the back side to kind of work with it. So yeah, I guess we just cram it in the hole and make it look all cool. Okie dokie. I have to admit, the really slow work time is nice because you're not feeling rushed to just get as close as you can. I mean, just the peace of mind knowing that I could work on this for like 1 to 3 hours. It's like, oh, that's nice. That way everything can be like as good as possible. So that's kind of a nice benefit already. Now I'm using an assortment of dental picks from various sources, just to kind of help manipulate things around a little bit, and especially using this little straight hooked guy to kind of create the seam that I'm looking for here. Okay, I think we're going to go with that. I left it a little high just so we can block it down to the surface. I'm sure there's going to be imperfections to fix later, but that's because I'm unfamiliar with working with this stuff. So we'll call this one a lesson, and hope for the best. Okay, well I think we'll let things rest and see how we did come this time tomorrow.